Big SEC guys, Joe. What an interesting week one. Week one of college football is in the books, and I think we learned a lot. I think we learned a lot in week one. How you feeling?
I am straight up not having a good time, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that one coming. Um, Folks, we're gonna have a good episode for you today. We're gonna review the games. We're gonna give you some SEC power rankings. We're gonna give you our big SEC guys of the week. And we're gonna finish strong with Joe sharing his passion. I think we're all looking forward to that. Um, so let's do it, Joe. Let's take a look at the games. I think I said it earlier, and I think it's true. I think we learned a lot. Let's sort of go down the line in order of games. So the first game there was Missouri Central Arkansas, and on the surface, I'll be quick with this one. Missouri took care of business handedly, right? Won by 50 something, 60 points. You're getting the thumbs up. I thought Missouri did not look good. Thought their
Oh, but
line
they
got
won. They won their first
well,
game of the year, and they won by 60 something points like they should have, so
sure, sure. So
thumbs up for Missouri.
they get the thumbs up. Their offensive line got pushed around. Their quarterback got injured like the second play of the game. So interesting week one. Let's get to an exciting one here. Auburn Baylor, Joe, and my thoughts really are simple. That Auburn team looks physical. Man,
Auburn
they
team
look
looked
physical.
very physical, and midway through that 2nd quarter, Baylor wanted no more of it.
Oh my gosh. They were throwing in the literal towel.
They did not want any more of it, buddy.
And can we give some praise to Jackson Arnold? I I'll call it out, like, I still don't know how he's gonna throw the football, but my gosh, he's a runner, he's a track star. How about the legs? 140 yards rushing,
I
2
tell you what,
touchdowns.
buddy, they did a great job of managing his confidence during the offseason because he looked like a different quarterback
Oh, yeah.
than he looked like last year.
He looked confident, he was moving around
Yep.
well, sort of
Mhm.
like a little bit of like a Haynes King-esque performance, right, from Georgia Tech, like, I'm gonna make the throws when I have to, and I'm gonna really do it with my legs,
Yeah,
so I thought that
and
was fun.
I thought he was fairly accurate, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fine. I just there were no throws where I was like, "Wow, what a throw." It was just sorta game
No,
management
there
and
were
on it.
yeah, no, you didn't have anything crazy like that, but he, you know, he was fairly accurate and he did what he had to do. I mean, I don't know another way to say it
He
other
took
than
care of business.
he took care of business.
Yeah. Auburn ran the ball 52 times for 307 yards. Love that.
Yeah, they're gonna beat us by 1,000.
Love it. Alright, the next 2 are back-to-back highlights, so Texas, Ohio State, right, and I don't wanna be the podcast, I don't wanna be the guy that overreacts, so I'm gonna preach patience here for the most part. Um, Arch Manning did not look good, and that's
The
concerning.
eyes don't lie, Chris.
The eyes don't lie. We all saw the eyes last year. Was that against Georgia? The big
Yeah,
eyes shot?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. I said Chris because of Chris Fowler, like I
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
calling the
yeah, yeah.
game. Okay. The eyes don't lie.
If Arch isn't gonna this Texas team is great on paper, and I know they're playing Ohio State, which is probably one of the best teams in college football this year. If Arch Manning plays like this Texas team's gonna lose 3 or 4 games. He's gotta do better.
I come in with a little bit of a hot take here? I didn't think it
Yeah.
was that good of football being played. I thought it was 2 pretty good defenses and 2 fairly pedestrian offenses. I mean, I don't get me wrong,
Oh, it's the most boring game on the
they're
planet.
good. They're both upper quartile of their conferences, but I didn't see I'm not sure that Ohio State team would have beaten Miami
Yeah.
or if that Ohio State team would have beaten Clemson or
Or
LSU.
LSU, yeah.
And I don't think Clemson would have beaten I mean, excuse me, I don't think Texas would have beaten any of 'em.
No, I was shout out to our friend Jim Kingston. I was watching the game with Jim, and I said, This is one of the most boring college football games of my recent memory.
Well, and so it was called pretty boring too. I mean, don't get me wrong, neither quarterback was super accurate, but neither quarterback
No.
was asked to do very much until towards the end of the game. They tried to ask Arch to come back, and for a second there, I thought he was going to. Um, for a second there, when he completed that pass down the sideline when it was
Yeah, he had a
14 to
couple good
7,
throws at the end, yeah.
I was sitting there going, "Man, if he grows up right here, then I'm gonna have to eat everything that I said about him stepping up in the big time," but, he didn't, so it was okay. But
Yeah,
he, but I'm feeling very confident about Texas being 9-3 right now.
I'm with you. I mean, their defense looked good, so they're not probably not gonna lose more than 3 games, but I yeah, I need to see more, and I hope I see more from Arch because that was, I mean, he was throwing the ball at dudes' ankles. It's like every throw was, like, short arming, one hopping it. Not
It
good.
it was almost like he was trying to be cute, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I forget what was it, 4th down play where he kinda threw the ball behind the guy and the guy dropped it and then ended the game or whatever it was, or a 3rd down play. There was no reason for him to get cute with that ball. Just step
No,
and deliver it, hit him in stride, and get the 1st down.
that was exactly what I'm talking about. He, like, short arms it, throws it behind him, and it's like, dude, that's a throw one of us potentially could have made. The guy's running wide open. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't when I was watching the game, I felt like the defenses were playing really well. Um, but then as the day progressed and I watched some more college football, I, it wasn't the same caliber of football I saw in Death Valley that night, that's for sure.
No, no, that Clemson LSU game was way better, and that's a good forward. That's our next game, so LSU Clemson, I think I might be in love, Joe, with this LSU team. Shout out to Steven who came on the pod, folks. If you haven't listened to that episode, go listen because
Yeah, you need to. He goes into but
he couldn't
what
have
you're
nailed
probably
it.
hearing about household names right now, but he was talking about
He's talking
deep
about the
into the
defense.
roster on LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking about the defense, and Joe and I were looking at him like he was crazy, saying, this defensive guy." Spoiler alert, he was right about literally
He was right.
everything week
They
1.
look good.
They looked
They look
really good,
fast and furious.
really good. And Nussmeier didn't have his best game, but I think I'm in love there too. Like, what a game manager there. He controlled the tempo, managed the game well, got it to his playmakers, let that defense cook. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah,
you
I
do
mean,
it.
I think the only thing holding LSU back right now is Brian Kelly because Brian Kelly continued to make some pretty bonehead calls.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. LSU is my number 1 team in the country now after week 1.
Yeah,
Uh,
same here.
I
Same
was
same
really
here.
I was really impressed. They're probably my if you were to ask for a post week 1 national champion, I think that's the one for me. And how about
Yeah.
Clemson? Can't beat
I
a
think
ranked
Clemson looked
SEC
great
team and
too.
save their lives.
That's the thing.
Yeah, Clemson looked good.
I thought Clemson played a great game.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik looked bad, but that defense looked good, and Clemson can't run the ball.
I didn't think Cade looked great, but I didn't think he looked terrible.
Felt like they were yeah, I don't know. Maybe I judge him too harshly just because of the anti-Clemson rhetoric in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I listen, he didn't do enough to win the game. I mean,
No.
he had a chance to go I mean, he was moving the ball down the field to tie the game or potentially go for it and win it at the end of the game, which I gotta believe what I honestly thought that's what we were gonna watch play out. I thought we were gonna watch a two-point conversion to win because I don't think Clemson had it in the tank to go a couple rounds of overtime.
No, you know Dabo's going for 2 there, that he's so
At
self-absorbed,
home, take your shot.
100%.
What, do you lose because you don't convert a two-point conversion in regulation versus just a couple overtimes down the road? Like, go ahead and take your shot, man.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, I like it. Marshall, Georgia, folks. I had Georgia minus 40 is my best bet. I got some texts actually saying a lot of people got in Georgia minus 38, which was a push, so shout out everybody who got in Georgia minus 38. That was actually the final line. So that would have been a push. Yeah, Georgia looked fine. It's Marshall, so we're not really going to talk about it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I'm actually fine if we wanna keep this short for the pod. The only real game that I wanna talk about where someone didn't play another Power 4 team is shout out to State, taking care of business down there in Hattiesburg.
oh
But
yeah,
I'm like, I'm all the other games, just skip over them. You did what you were supposed to do. I mean, you beat everybody beat the teams they were supposed to beat. The one exception being Kentucky, who looked a little sketchy, but they still got the job done and got the W. So,
yeah, I like that. So yeah,
but
Florida
I
took
don't
care
think
of
I mean, I
business.
think we can do the same
Oklahoma,
thing next week also is when we have these early games is just thumbs up, guys. Y'all won. You did what you were supposed to do.
I like that. So Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Florida. Y'all get a thumbs up. I think we
Everybody.
need to
Yep.
touch on Syracuse, Tennessee, Joe. Tennessee,
Yeah.
brand new
I mean,
offense, but that translated. Heupel's offense translated.
yes.
They look good.
Yes. Tennessee's got themselves a quarterback. All of a sudden,
Yes, sir, they do.
that trip to Knoxville for the Dogs in 2 weeks looks kinda interesting, doesn't it?
100%. I mean, that Tennessee team looked good.
He looks
They
like he
looked
can
good.
cause problems. I don't know how good Syracuse is, right?
I
And
think
it's
they're
not
bad.
like they beat them by what was the final score? It was like a 14-point win or
I think they won
17 or
by
something like
20. Yeah, 20.
was it 20? Okay, well, it's better than I thought. So, I don't really know how good Syracuse is, but I know this is Georgia's gonna be chasing that kid around all daggum day up there.
Yeah.
And Tennessee does have a pretty good defense, and old Neyland Stadium is gonna be rocking.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That game just got a lot more exciting. That I mean,
it got a lot more exciting. Yep,
the Heupel offense is just a ton of fun. We were switching back and forth because that Texas Ohio State game was so boring, and it was like big play after big play. I was like, "We just need to watch this. This is way more fun." That was great.
yep.
Shout out Mississippi State. Like we said,
Yes,
they doubled up Southern Miss, and I was looking at the PFF All SEC team today, and it was like half Mississippi State. They were grading out like crazy on Pro Football Focus, which was funny, so good for them.
Jeff Lebby. Hey, buddy,
Lebby,
what'd
baby.
we say? Better than last year, pal.
Jeff
That's what
Lebby.
we're looking for.
And then last but not least, folks, my precious South Carolina
Oh,
Gamecocks,
yeah.
and I'm gonna be quick here. Best opening drive in the history of South Carolina football. We looked so big and so fast and so strong. We ran over like 6 or 7 Virginia Tech players en route to a 7-play, 75-yard touchdown. Lenora Sellers with the keeper, trucks the guy. We have some offensive line troubles, Joe. Then our offensive line struggled for about 2.5 quarters. Um, we had a great punt return by one of our DBs, Swain, and then Sellers connected with Harbor, our track star, for a long touchdown, and, we ended up covering, winning by 2 touchdowns, looking kinda good in the process. But, I mean, we had 2.5 quarters of dreadful offensive line play, and that can't be the case, so that's point 1. I'm worried about that, and then my second point is, boy, this defense might be good again, Papa. Didn't give up a touchdown. Linebackers were flying around. Our D tackles, 4 guys who are absolutely nobodies, were grading out incredibly. They were disruptive. Our DBs were great. Great coverage all game. Dylan Stewart, unbelievable. Oh my gosh, the pressure he got on drones the whole game. So this is gonna be another good South Carolina defense, folks, and I told y'all during the South Carolina episode, keep an eye out, linebacker Fred Johnson. National Defensive Player of the Week, Joe, week 1. And,
It
one of the
was,
big
uh
and
it was a really good showing by the Cox on
yeah,
defense. 2 former BAMs played really, really well,
yeah,
really well.
good win
I
in
was
opening
shocked
too.
if you go back and listen to our South Carolina episode, we never really got to see Goodwin play that in
Yeah, he never
Tuscaloosa,
played at Bama,
and
no.
everything that we heard was that he was not, you know, not up the ladder, and boy, he was causing havoc up
He
front.
was He was pushing dudes around.
He was causing havoc up front, and then Justin, I never can say his last name correctly.
Okoronkwo.
He's just a freak of an athlete, and you
He's
saw
so
why when
fast.
he made several
He's
just
so fast.
incredible closing speed plays.
He had the one, Joe, where Virginia Tech's speedy running back turns the corner, and I go, "Oh, no, this is gonna be a touchdown," and he ends up tackling him for a one-yard loss. He closes so fast.
I hate to say it, buddy, you're coming in and out pretty bad here, pal.
Oh, boy. Is that better? I can do some editing. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. You're back.
Alright.
Yeah, but I didn't catch anything after I said what I said about Justin.
No, I was just saying he his closing speed's incredible. He's so fast. I was
Mhm.
happy to see that. Well, those are the games. Joe, do we wanna move on to some SEC power rankings?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was lazy. I did my top 7. I just
Okay.
I couldn't bring myself to do the full 16. That's too much conceptual thinking for me on a Tuesday night, so I'm gonna give you my top 7. So, I've got Texas
Okay.
A&M at 7. I thought they looked, um I thought they looked fine. I think this is gonna be a good team. Probably a little bit of first game jitters. Oklahoma at 6. I really like what I saw from that defense and John Mateer. Florida at 5. They were playing one of the worst teams in college football, so it's hard to get a gauge, but that Florida team's gonna be good, with Lagway and Bow and some of those guys. I had South Carolina at 4. I sorta was tempted to put them at 3, but I still like Texas's 22, I think, so I've got Texas at 3, UGA at 2, and then I've got LSU 1, and LSU is my number 1 team in the nation. I think they looked really good.
Yeah, I wasn't quite that lazy, but I was somewhat lazy.
Love it.
I have a top 5, and then
Nice.
I've got a group of them at 6, and then I've got one at 11 and a group at 12 and then one at 16.
Like it.
So, I'll start I've got LSU at 1. I agree. I know they're not ranked number 1. To me, they look like the best team in the country. I got Georgia at 2. Man, that game in Knoxville, not this week, but the following week is gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
That's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
It's gonna tell us a lot about both of those teams,
Oh, yeah.
um, and could really suck some more air out of the Bama-Georgia game, you know? Then at 3, I've got Florida. They didn't play anybody to speak of, but also that same weekend, the Florida LSU game is gonna be outrageous.
Oh, yeah. That's
Um,
gonna be so much
so,
fun.
I mean, There's some there's some games that week. You start now at noon, you got Bama basically fighting for their life against Wisconsin. And then you're gonna have some combination of Florida and LSU. Isn't that the same weekend? Florida,
Yeah, I think so.
LSU, and then Georgia, Tennessee is the 3:30 and in late game. Like, sign me up for that. My cousin's getting married, but so I'll at least get to watch Bama blow their season at noon, and then get to watch the beginning of whatever the 3:30 game, and then after I cut the dance floor up pretty good, I'll watch the end of the night game, so it'll be a good night.
Love it.
But so I have Florida at 3. I had Texas at 4. I really wanted to rank the Cox at 4, but again, I couldn't if I watched them go play on paper, I don't think that, you could keep Sellers upright the whole game.
I agree. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
roster
So
question.
I got Texas at 4, um, South Carolina at 5, so that's like my top 5, and then I've got all these teams sitting at 6, and until we see them play some more, I just don't feel comfortable really trying to rank them all,
Like it.
but I've got Oklahoma, Ole Miss, A&M, Tennessee, and Auburn all sitting there at 6,
I think you nailed it.
and then I got right behind them, I got Vanderbilt solo, because I
Nice.
do not lump them with this group at the
Solo
bottom.
tier.
Solo tier, they're
Nice.
not quite in that 6 or in that group at 6, but they're definitely not with Missouri, Kentucky, Arkansas, and State. And
Okay.
then last in its own solo tier at 16, I've got
Love it. Love it. Alabama 16th power ranked team in the SEC.
Yep, yep,
That's what we
absolutely.
call, an overreaction, folks, but it's good
I don't
content.
I find me more than 3 wins on this schedule, buddy. Find
Oh,
it.
no.
Find
Oh,
it.
no. Oh,
I
no.
can't find 3 wins for that team that played on Saturday. I can't.
Oh gosh.
So, what we wanna do superlatives, offense, defense.
Yeah,
I got
yeah, r
Sellers on offense and
oh,
Perkins
love
on
it.
defense.
Oh, nice. Okay, I got a couple of guys, so I'll read them off. Offense, 2 honorable mentions, Taylon Green for Arkansas went crazy, 350
Mhm.
yard touchdowns, he was awesome. Jackson Arnold, I thought he looked great, I've been hard on
Yeah.
him, so let's give him an honorable mention, big SEC guy, 140 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And then my big SEC offensive guy of the week, I loved what I saw from Nussmeier. I thought he managed that game really well. On defense, I've
You don't
got
wanna
Ty.
toot Sellers' horn too much. I hear you. Okay, that's fine. I
No, Sellers had some good individual moments, and he's up to number 1 in the Heisman odds, which is crazy. He's got the best odds in Vegas right now, but I thought he missed a couple throws. That safety was bad. He, like, walked into the defender. I didn't think he was as sharp as maybe everyone else does.
Yeah,
But don't get me wrong, I mean, he had 3 or 4 clutch plays in the 4th quarter where
played
it's like,
pretty well, dude. The
yeah,
pass to Arbor,
was awesome.
beautiful. His touchdown run was great.
Yeah,
He avoided I think there was a field goal drive or maybe it was another touchdown drive, I can't remember, where he basically kept the
and he
drive
ducked the
alive
guy.
when he had no business being upright. So,
Yeah, he ducked the guy and then stiff arms the linebacker and then gets skinny to avoid going out of bounds and then reaches out for the first, and you're like, "No one else in college football is doing that, period." He's the only guy that can do that, which is crazy.
no.
Um And then defense, I had 2, I love that you called out Perkins. I thought Perkins for LSU was great, but I liked, Mansour Delane, the defensive back for LSU. He had the clutch interception, and he was
Yep,
great in coverage all day. PFF had him as, like, a 91 coverage grade, which was the 2nd best in college football, and that's
yep.
against Clemson, who has good receivers, so I really liked that. And then South Carolina, Fred Johnson, the linebacker, 10 tackles, a clutch interception in the end zone, 2 pass breakups, and he was the top graded, linebacker in the SEC this week, and one of the 2027 draft guys tweeted out, "Here's my new number 1 linebacker in the 2027 class," and it was Fred Johnson, so that was cool to see him get his flowers. And then I had 2 for special teams, both cornerbacks, which I thought was funny. It's the year of the cornerback on special teams, you saw this one, Joe. Rayshon Pleasant, the DB for Auburn, the 100-yard kick return touchdown, that was awesome. And then for South Carolina, Vakari Swain, the 80-yard punt return touchdown was so clutch, so cool. Jukes 5 or 6 guys, shades of Ace Sanders. That probably won us the game, so those are
Yeah,
my
I
big
think it
SEC
did
guys
too.
for the week.
That game was a little bit I think I told you this when we talked yesterday. I was kinda watching, kinda not, kinda moping
Yeah,
most of Sunday, and, I had turned it back on, and it was getting I just was like, "Why is" I turned it back on because why is this game still close? When I watched it early, South Carolina looked to be in control. What's going on here? And I flipped it over just in time to see that, and it was like it changed the whole trajectory of the
yeah.
game at that point. It's like the air totally went out of Virginia Tech.
The game was like 10-8 for 90 minutes. I was like, "This
Yeah,
stinks." So stressful.
yeah,
10-8. What a
it
dumb
was. I
score.
mean, it was I kept checking to see when the score was gonna change, and finally I go, "Well, I better turn that game on
Yeah.
and watch the rest of it." I just, I as can be imagined, I was about all footballed out at that point in time.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I can understand. Well, folks, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We're 25 minutes in, and if you've stuck around this long, I think it's gonna be worth it. This is, I wanted to start the episode with this. Joe wanted to end the episode with this, so we decided to end with it. Joe, let's hear it. I'd love to hear the Alabama rant. I know you've got some stats, you've got some thoughts. Let the listeners hear it.
I will say this, that opening drive was the most enjoyable offensive experience I've
That's
had
great.
watching Alabama since 2020. We started out 2 plays in a row under center. We ran the ball. We didn't ask Ty to do too much. He completed some pass off of play action. It was a thing of beauty. We took 8.5 minutes off the clock. I mean, it was everything I have been asking for us to do on offense for honestly all the way back to, like, when Jake Coker was the quarterback. I mean, we didn't even do this cool of stuff when we had Tua and Mac and Jalen and Bryce and all those guys. It was a thing of beauty. And then for no reason, we never saw it again, ever. The rest of the game, we didn't see it again. And I don't know, I don't even feel like I'm starting in the right spot, but there's so many damn things wrong with this college football program right now that I'm just gonna start talking and just go into it. Kalen DeBoer is allergic to running the football. This is the 14th game that he's coached us. You know how many times he's had a running back carry the ball more than 15 times?
Is it 0?
Twice.
Oh my gosh.
Twice. Twice in 14 games. You know how many times he's had a running back carry the ball more than the quarterback?
Oh
I
gosh.
think it's 3.
Ty Simpson did lead the team in carries, didn't he? That's ridiculous.
I mean, he was tied with Richard Young, tied.
Yeah,
9.
tied.
It's the same. The game played out the same way. We're losing in the same fashion. It's the same things that have been getting us beat are getting us beat. And, I mean, in the losses, flip my next page in notes. In the losses, we've given up FSU 230 yards rushing, Oklahoma 257 yards rushing, Tennessee 214 yards, Vanderbilt 166 yards rushing. It's just if you have a quarterback that is mobile, then by God, just let him run. We're not going to try to tackle him. Heaven forbid. I mean, I don't know if it's because we don't let our guys tackle our own quarterback and they just can't figure out that in game day that changes. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but it it just it's amazing to me. Florida State, I just about called them Auburn because we had Gus Bus calling the damn plays. They didn't do anything that we didn't expect. They ran zone concepts. They ran zone concepts. The quarterback read it. Gus put a decade of it on tape to watch. And you had tape of this guy, I still can't say his Tommy, I'm gonna call him Tommy, his first name.
Castellanos, yeah.
Yeah, Castellanos. You had tape of this cat and how shifty and fast he was. I mean, you knew what they were gonna do. And then on top of that, you never attacked. We caught everything. I mean, I'm not gonna single out the players individually by name on their effort. But by this point, if you care about college football and watch it at all, you've seen the clips of the kids loafing and not running to the ball and getting lit up because they don't have their head on a swivel. We had no energy, no desire, just a complete apathy on the defensive side of it.
Lawson and Jefferson looked bad, and I thought that was gonna be one of the better linebacker duos. They looked bad.
Yeah, I kinda feel for Deontay. He didn't look healthy.
He's hurt
Um,
still.
he was a lot of times he was trying to get to the right spot, but he did not look physically. I mean, on the long wheel route, they had him mugged up in the A gap and then asked him to try to cover that fast back. Well, I think it was a wide receiver. Good night, sir. I think it was a wide receiver lined up in the backfield, or maybe it was just a real fast running back. But he's basically lined up in the A gap, and they asked him to try to cover to the flat and on the wheel in man on that guy, and he just physically could not get out. I mean, he knew what he was supposed to do. See, I don't get as mad about that. That to me is coaching. You've got to be more self aware of your players' capabilities at this point. And at this point in time, he can't do that. He could have done it last year. He could have done it
Yeah.
the year before, but right now it doesn't look like he trusts his knee.
He may need to yeah, he looked like I mean, I hate to say this because it's totally injury related, he looked like a shell of himself.
He
I mean,
did. He did. He
that
was a
did not
step
look like
he
the
was a
same
step
guy.
slow, and I don't put that on his desire. I mean,
No,
he was
no.
he was out there throwing his body around. He just didn't look physically like he was ready to be out there yet. I mean,
Yeah, it
he
looks like he's
if
still hurt.
100% at 100%, Deontay Lawson is not only a top 5 linebacker in the SEC, he's a top 5 linebacker in the country, and he's a
Absolutely.
top 2 to 3 round draft pick.
It's probably a
He
1st or
wa
2nd round draft pick, yeah.
he wasn't at 70% of his
No.
he wasn't. I mean, and that stinks. The defensive line, which is supposed to be a strength of the team, there was no push. There
He
was
got
no
pushed around.
attacking.
Yeah.
There was no attacking, there was no push, there was no rush lane discipline. I mean, you would think if they're not gonna get a push, that they would at least be disciplined enough and, like, do a mush rush in their lanes. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
Huh.
So they didn't be aggressive, and they couldn't even be not aggressive correctly. Um, Again, coaching. Um couldn't set the edge because we had our damn edge guy, Russaw. He's wandering around places, I guess, trying to confuse people, but then he doesn't get back to the edge to set it, and whoopsie daisy, around we go, and there's nobody else out there because the next level guy is 20 yards back. It's schematically, this defense has got some really, really big holes against teams that are committed to running the football and will run their quarterback.
Yeah. Russaw was. He was doing that walk around thing. It was like, "Dude, they're gonna run that zone read every play." It's like, just stay on the
Go blow
outside
up the
and
ball
set
carrier.
the
Go
edge."
blow up the ball
Yeah.
carrier. Blow him up. Blow him up. Blow him up. It's just you have to attack the zone read and force them to make a quick decision.
Yeah, you
It's,
gotta tackle one of those guys right away.
it's I mean, I'm jumping around here, but we're 1 and 3 in our last 4. Um, of those, I don't think anybody was ranked. Those losses, nobody was ranked. Now, this is not a 2 and 10 Florida State team, but I don't think this is a top 5 Florida State
No.
team. I mean, they had the energy and the passion that we didn't, but I still don't think. I mean, maybe they beat Clemson, maybe they beat Miami and they proved me wrong. Maybe they split with them, even splitting with them would prove me wrong, but they're not gonna win 2 or 3 against Miami, Clemson, or Florida. I would be shocked if they win 2 out of those 3.
Yeah, I
Um,
would take the under there.
yeah. Um, but we're sitting there and so we're 1 and 3 in the last 4. And since we beat Georgia, we're 5 and 5. Now, I'm sure everybody by now, because I'm sure this is what, Tuesday night. This probably won't get out till tomorrow. Everybody's heard the talking heads talk about this. But this is a problem. This is a
Yeah.
problem, and
Oh, yeah.
it's the way that we keep losing that is the problem. It's not. I'm a big boy. I can handle getting beat, okay. I can handle getting beat. What I cannot handle is a lack of effort, total apathy for what's going on, the stupid penalties, the refusal, flat out refusal to use your running back. Just, I thought it would change now that we don't have Jalen Milrow, who's a dynamic runner with his legs, no doubt, not arguing that. You need him to scramble and run the ball, but we don't have him anymore. Would you would think that we since we don't have him, we would turn around and hand the ball. Nope. Running back with most carries, 9. 9 carries. Couldn't even get to double digits. "Oh, well,
And
Joe, we fell behind." Brother, we were down 17-7
yeah,
when we got the ball in the second half. 17
Ty
to 7. 10
Ty
points in the
Simpson.
3rd quarter, that's nothing. Run the damn football.
Yeah. Ty Simpson, 43 pass attempts is ludicrous. I don't care
It's
about
worse
getting
it's
stripped.
worse than that. It's worse than 43 pass attempts.
Yeah.
It's worse because he got sacked 3 times, and I can think of off the top of my head 3 other times where he scrambled and ran. I think he did it more, but I can confirm 3. That's
So,
49. That's
that's
49 times
50
you dropped it back
dropbacks.
with the
Yeah.
intention of throwing the ball. What were you thinking?
South Carolina
First start.
had, like, 20 dropbacks. 50. That's
What were you
ridiculous.
thinking? I mean, it just and here's what bothers me so much about it is we have another big game on Saturday, and Ohio State wins at home. I think they asked Sayin to throw it 22 times,
Yeah.
23 times,
Sane and Arch both threw it in the 20s.
you
Arch
know?
might have actually been in the teens.
Uh, you know? It's like, I don't even get that mad about time. Like, it's I thought Ty I tell you what, with the lack of effort I saw out of everybody else, I didn't see a lack of effort out of Ty. I didn't see Ty sliding. I saw Ty laying it all out there on a 4th down where he broke several tackles and then put his head down and took on a screaming safety head on to try to get that. Now, he didn't win, but he tried to get that last yard. I saw that out of Ty. Did Ty make some mistakes? Everybody, the easiest one to point to is the 4th down where he threw the ball to Ryan Williams instead of running it. But, split decision, you got your Ryan was wide ass open.
You got your star, yeah.
You got your star out there. If you get him the ball, there's no telling what he does with it in his hands. I Yeah, I get it, 4th down, you can make it, go get it, but I don't have a problem with how that played out. I didn't think he made some kinda terrible decision. You know, if he'd have short armed it to somebody who can't catch the ball, then yeah, maybe. Or if he'd have thrown it in a double if he'd have coulda run it and he'd have thrown it in a double coverage, but, I mean, Ryan was open, the play was there, you just gotta execute. That's all that is. That's just execution. So, he had the bad sack where we fumbled, and, Parker Brailsford, by the way, another guy, don't question his effort. Do you see him recover that ball, get us back into field goal range? Look
Yeah, oh,
freaking
yeah.
Larry Zonk out there. Jeremy Bernard, don't question him. Why am I naming off Washington kids? Why am
Very
I naming off the Washington transfers? Cuevas, you see him breaking tackles late in that game trying to get the ball down?
oh, yeah.
I'm not seeing these guys. I'm not seeing these transfers. I'm not questioning them. You know, Kevin Riley, now that's a recruit that we brought in. Kevin Riley, he ran his tail off. He looked good. But on defense, buddy, I didn't see it. I didn't see it out of nothing.
Looked soft.
Nobody. They looked soft. They
Looked
looked
soft.
soft and apathetic and like they had better things to do. They had better things to do than line up. It
Like
should
they
just be
had
given.
Taco Bell at 2 a.m.
Lack of discipline. Oh, and let's talk about lack of discipline. Here's another stat I got for you. We took 14 games under DeBoer. 14. Every single game that he has coached for Alabama, Alabama has not had a single one of them where they've had less penalty yardage than their opponent.
Oof, not good.
No, no, buddy. That's not good. And what it means is now there's been multiple games where they had the same number of penalties called. In fact, a bunch of them where they had the same number of penalties called. So what that means? We're getting higher yardage penalties. And we all know what those are. They're personal foul penalties,
Unsportsmanlike stuff, personal foul.
unsportsmanlike. We had 2 of them on Saturday. One of them was later in the game, down 7, which would have gotten us off the field and gave them a first down. I think they were about to be 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12. So you were gonna force him into a throwing situation, okay? We're down 7. Why? Why?
And then you bail them out. Not good.
I mean, it is pathetic. Um, it's pathetic. There is obviously something going on from a discipline and an effort standpoint in Tuscaloosa. And we heard all the talking points all off season long, bought into them. I really did. I bought into the whole when I saw I've said it multiple times, when I saw we were the only team that didn't have a, spring transfer, um, in the, uh in the SEC, I said, "Hot damn, Bubba. We got us a team that's willing to fight. These guys are here for each other. This is our team." All you heard about all summer was how close the team was. I didn't see anybody fighting for anybody. I mean, I didn't see anybody. I where were the guys getting on each other's ass for not being gap sound? I mean, who's holding who accountable over you? And look, DeBoer is not he's not Coach Saban. You're not gonna watch him wig out and get in somebody's face and discipline them right there up and down on the side. You're just not gonna see it. But where was the player? They wanna talk about this being a player-led program and a player-led team. Where were the leaders and the players on the team jerking a knot in somebody's ass because they weren't doing their job? Football is about doing your job, and they weren't doing their job. Where was the accountability? Nowhere. Nowhere. Damn sure wasn't in Tallahassee. And my guess is it doesn't live in Tuscaloosa either.
I'm with you. Yeah, you wanna have the player accountability there, and that just especially on defense, it was just not there. I mean, I remember
Right.
there's Georgia defenses where Nakobe Dean would grab some dude by the face mask and scream at him, and then he'd make a play the next play, and that's what you want.
I Buddy, I mean, I watched it for I mean, those defenses from, like, they were really the last of Kirby's defenses, and then those defenses we had with Pruitt, those are the nastiest. We're gonna try to keep this as family friendly as possible, but they were the nastiest dudes that had ever lined up on a football field.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were mean.
Oh,
Crazy
yeah.
Tony, Ronnie Harrison, Reuben Foster. I mean, how many guys have we had go to the league and basically flame out because they keep going home and either shooting somebody or like they get in, fights outside of their hometown and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, these are some nasty dudes. These are some nasty, nasty dudes, and they played that way, and, we ain't got nothing like that now, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's not a I mean, they ain't nobody you're scared to go block on that defense, you know? There's nobody right now you're scared to block on that defense. I'm so disappointed that defense we allocated all of our spending into keeping which was a top 10 defense last year, and it's a long season, but top 10 defense last year, and we kept them all. We kept them all at home. I mean,
Yeah.
this should on paper, this defense should be shutting people down, and, they might as well have been a doormat. Now, granted, do I get to fix it now?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, alright. So here's what's gotta happen. Uh, Eventually, to stop this level of just dumbassery on the penalties and this lack of effort running to the football, you're gonna have to sit people. It just has to happen. In this day and age, they're all making money. Um, the only leverage you have over them is playing time. They're not that concerned about y I don't know, but the only leverage you have anymore as a coach is just, "Fine, you're not gonna do what we're telling you to do, you can't play." So I mean, they graded film out. They know who it is. If you were loafing your ass on Saturday, then you have now forfeited your starting position. And that is open to competition. And by the way, you're suspended for the first half of this upcoming week. And you better hope like hell that you can work your way and that the guy that we're putting in there doesn't take because he's taking it from you. He's getting the opportunity to take it from you and you're gonna have to work to take it back from him. That's the only thing I know to do. And if you commit a stupid penalty like that, it's a quarter. You're done for a quarter. You're done. And we're gonna play the kids that wanna play and that wanna play discipline. And
Yeah. Oh,
until
yeah.
you do that, I think we're stuck in this. I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck bad too, because the culture has slipped um, into this. This is a culture problem.
I think that's the right call. Like, let's let some guys sit and watch for a little bit and say, "Hey, you wanna get back in there? Show me."
And then run the ball on offense. I
Yeah.
mean, just I know it's Louisiana Monroe. I know it's Louisiana Monroe. Listen,
Run it 70 times.
it is you run these damn backs and make Ty's life easy. Let him build some confidence. Let him throw it 25 times and you run it 40. Okay? And don't run him. Tell him don't run him. Not that you would be running him that much, even though he's pretty fast. But, you run the damn ball and let him build his confidence, and then you do the same thing against Wisconsin and try to find I mean, Coach Saban used to and I hate to be this guy, right? He's retired, he's gone, we're never going back. But he always used to talk about balance. We try to be balanced. And he was always fighting it from a standpoint that he wanted to run the football all the time. So what do we have to do to pass to be balanced, right? We want to be able to pass when we want to pass, want to be able to run when we want to run. Well, you know, balance isn't lining up 49 times in the game and throwing the ball and only running it 23. That's not balance. And I'm sorry, QB runs that get counted as runs, even though they were a pass play, that's not a called running play. That's not balance. That's a pass. That's a drop back. And so when you're 49 out of what's that math? 69, 72. When you're 49 out of 72, I mean, you're not running the ball, calling a run play a third of the time. That's not balance. That's video game horse crap is what that is. it's just not gonna win football games.
I like it, Joe. Well, you want to finish the episode by telling our listeners the SEC teams in the AP top 10 currently in the playoff race?
Yeah, let's give a shout out to a former SEC big SEC guy down at Miami, Carson Beck.
Yeah,
Looked pretty good,
looked really good.
looked pretty good. You know what I saw out of him that I hadn't seen, in Athens? I saw a
Confident.
lot of leadership from him on the
Yeah,
sideline.
yeah. Leadership, confidence. How awesome
Well,
is that when he
he
gets
played with
that?
some confidence. He played with a lot of confidence that year 1, and he had it to start year 2, uh, but I hadn't seen that level of leadership. That guy went down there, and I don't know what's happened in the offseason. It's almost like he made a mental decision. He was gonna improve that part of his game. I'm
Yeah,
kinda
second
excited
chance.
for him because he's always had the arm talent, and, I didn't really see anything arm-wise that looked like it was holding him back. I mean, the ball looked crisp enough, didn't it, to
No,
you?
that he had one throw that I thought was potentially a bad throw, and he got bailed out by the early contender for catch of the year, that CJ Daniels
Oh,
one-handed catch.
that there
I
is
thought
no
that was
thought that was
I thought that
if
was
we
a
had to talk about
pick.
that was a bad throw. That was a
I thought
bad
that
throw. He
that had
shouldn't have thrown that.
pick written all over it, and then he just reaches that big paw, catches it one-handed, out of
That
control.
DB should have just gone that DB should have just absolutely destroyed that kid, taken his head off and just taken his targeting and went to the house. But you can't allow that kinda play to happen. Just go ahead and get it. I'm sorry, targeting is the worst thing that's ever happened to football. That receiver should have been cut in half,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
that was a bad throw. But
Catch
other than
of
that,
the year.
I thought Carson played really well. Shout out to a former big SEC guy. Um, Glad to see he's doing well. And, yeah, run through the rankings.
Alright, folks, so we all know the playoff is, 12 teams, so we have 4 SEC teams in the AP top 12 right now. That is LSU at number 3, Georgia at number 4, Texas at number 7, and South Carolina at number 10. How exciting. Love it.
Bama's still ranked. We shouldn't be. They should have booted us
Yeah,
out.
Bama's at 21 in the AP, which is a big drop.
We shouldn't even be ranked. I did hear Reese say last night he didn't rank us. Good for him. He's the only honest journalist out there.
Shout out Reese Davis, one of our subscribers, big fan of the pod. So
I
like and
wish
subscribe.
He's a Bama grad though.
Yeah, oh yeah, like and subscribe.
Like and
Thanks,
subscribe, everybody.
thanks
We're
for
bumping those
listening.
numbers up, and it's all because you people keep
Subscriber count
liking and you keep subscribing.
subscriber count has gone up 50% over the past few days. So keep
That's
liking, keep
right.
subscribing. Thank you. Love it. All right, Joe. Happy
All right,
Tuesday.
buddy.
Hope for better things in week 2.
Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. See ya.